Hi, I'm Rabbi Jessica Barolsky. I am a rabbi and director of lifelong learning at Congregation Emanu-El B'ne Jeshurun. This week's Torah portion, which I get to talk to you about, is Shelach in the book of Numbers. Shelach, the biggest part of it, is a story of a group of spies. Moses sends these 12 spies across the Jordan River into the land of Israel to really get to check out everything that's going on in the land before all of the Israelites cross over into the land. So the spies went all over Israel, from south to north and east to west, and they found everything that they could about it. So they came back with pomegranates and figs and a bunch of grapes that is described only as needing 2 men to carry this one bunch of grapes. So I imagine it was a really big bunch of grapes that they found somehow in the land of Israel. They explored for 40 days. When they came back, they of course came before all of the Israelites to tell everybody what they found. They said it was this beautiful land, just like we've always heard, and it's flowing with milk and honey and this amazing fruit and these giant grapes. But here's the thing. The people who are already living there are big and powerful, and they have these huge cities with tall, massive walls, and each city has a different group of people already living there in their own walls and their own customs and their own things, and it's really scary. 2 of the spies, only 2 of the 12, spoke up, Caleb and Joshua. Now, they didn't disagree with what anybody else had said, but they said, it's a beautiful land. It's flowing with milk and honey. We can do this. God said we could. This is our land. We're going to go there, and we're going to take over, and that's going to be our land, because God said that was going to be our land. But the people listened to the other 10 spies. Sometimes that stuff's easier to believe, and they were scared. They wanted to go back to Egypt. God decided they weren't ready. God decided at that point every single adult was not going to be able to enter the land of Israel. And so they spent another 40 years in the wilderness, wandering, while those people got a little too old to go into the land. Now, the morning after they heard the report from the spies, the people said, okay, let's give it a shot. And they did try to go in, but God wasn't really okay with them going in at that point, and so it was a massive military failure. They were defeated, and they never got to go in. So there's a lot of lessons in this story, of course. Maybe the biggest one is that we have to have faith. Sometimes it's really scary, and we don't know what we are going to face. But in this case, God said we were going to take the land, so of course we were going to take the land. The fact that the spies even went to check out the land was a sign that we weren't quite sure of things. God, of course, already knew the land was good. God saw this land. God promised us this land. But Midrash tells us God knew the people weren't quite sure. So it was God who told Moses, I know the land is good. Go see it for yourself. Go check it out. But the other really important thing that I think this Torah portion teaches us is we have to stand up for what's right. We learned that every single adult was not allowed to go into the land because they believed the spies. Even the ones who kept quiet, who might have agreed with Caleb and Joshua, because they kept quiet, they too weren't allowed in. So what we learn also from our Midrash is we have to stand up for what's right, even if it's a hard thing to do, and even if a lot of people don't agree. So I thank you for joining me for this moment of Torah, and Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you.